I'm Nadine Thornhill, sexuality educator.
And I'm Shakaila, a peer educator.
As you can see, this is not my office. I am here at Jessie's Centre, and so you're going to tell us sort of what Jessie Centre is and what you do here.
Basically, Jessie Centre is a center for young parents, mostly young mothers, between the ages of 14 and 19 is our cutoff. There's a variety of services here. There's school on site, there's a nurse. We do peer education, so we go around to high schools and teach them about safe sex, consent, healthy relationships, things like that, and young parenting.
So you're basically a sex educator also?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been here or been with the center?
About 4 years now.
Oh wow. What's your experience been like working with the center?
I mean, when I first came here, I didn't know what to expect, but it's been really great. I had, a lot of opportunities have opened up for me since being here, and I'm really grateful for that.
Are you a young parent yourself?
Yes.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I have a 3-year-old daughter.
Oh, I have a 12-year-old. I miss 3. What would you say are some misconceptions that people might have around teen pregnancy or young parenting?
The first thing that came into my head was irresponsible. I feel like a lot of people feel like young mothers especially are irresponsible because, they made the decision to have unprotected sex and get pregnant and whatever. But I feel like with being a parent comes a lot of responsibility. I mean, there's a few out there that, don't take care of the responsibilities, but as the vast majority, all of my friends, I've seen them grow up and they do amazing things. We push ourselves to make a better life for our children, so.
And I mean, as someone in my 40s who became a parent in her 30s, I can also say that, there are lots of people, my age or, women who were in their 30s who also, had unexpected pregnancies or unintended pregnancies. So it's not just something that can happen to, someone who's a teenager.
A lot of times people are like, oh, you're young, you don't know how to take care of your kid.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Right.
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but just because you're young doesn't mean you can't parent effectively.
So what's one of your favorite things about being a parent?
I think it's the personality of your child. For me, my daughter's personality is so grand. She has autism, so she's on the spectrum.
Okay.
So she doesn't speak as much, but when she does, she's very sarcastic and just I would say she's a smart ass.
Okay, yeah.
Some of the things she says, I just look at her and I'm like, where did you get that from? But she's a mini version of me. She's just me. She looks exactly like her dad, but personality-wise, she's just a little me. And I'm like, wow, this is what my mother had to do.
Right, relating.
Yeah.
Something a lot of the parents that I work with worry about is, they may have kids who are tweens or they're teens and they're terrified, what if my kid gets pregnant and what do I do? So something I like to talk to parents about is ways that we can support our kids if, they wind up in a situation where they are facing an unintended pregnancy because, some teens become sexually active and, it's always something that can happen if you're sexually active and having, the kind of sex that can lead to pregnancy. So yeah, what would be some tips that you might give to a parent who just wants to support their kid?
If they're being supportive, they're already starting off great because, some parents aren't that supportive, and helping them find resources, knowing when to step back and when to step up, because it's a very fragile time. I know for myself, when I got pregnant, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I made sure I did everything on my own. So my mom couldn't be like, oh, you need to do this or whatever. But then I stressed myself out too much because she was like, I still believe in you and it doesn't, So that support is great. And if you find places like Jessie's, you can come with them to their appointments and things like that.
What would you want someone to know if they were considering coming here, but they sort of weren't sure what to expect?
Everybody's really friendly, staff and stuff. I mean, it has its drama, obviously. You have a bunch of pregnant teenagers in the center. It gets a little wild sometimes, but for the most part, for me, I have my own, they say it takes a village to raise a child, and I found my village within Jessie's, and I love that. All of my friends, no matter what, we will drop what we're doing and take care of each other's kids. If a bill needs to be paid, we'll all pitch in. it's great.
What are some things that you would say would not be helpful if, you know, you had a child or someone in your family or a close friend who was facing, you know, an unintended pregnancy as a young person? Like, what should you not do?
Constantly remind the person that they have a kid. Like, some people, like, it's like, no, really, this little person, I know I have a child, but some people, they'll be like, you have a kid, you know that, like, you can't do this because you have a kid. Or it's just like, well, you went and had the kid. Like, I find a lot of parents do that. They're like, you went out, you decided to have a kid. And it's like, okay, yes, I understand that and I know that. Like, I take care of my responsibilities, you know, so I don't like when people try to tell me what to do with my kid, or be like, oh, remember you have a kid or whatever.
Like, it's not a punishment, right?
Exactly.
It's a situation. You have a child. Parenting should not be a punishment. So what have your experiences been with the healthcare system?
For me, during my pregnancy, it was, I mean, I was very new to it, so I kind of just did whatever. But I also had a midwife too, as well as an OB. I was high risk.
Okay.
But I was dead set on having a midwife, because at this time I started getting a little bit of information about like the mortality rates within Black women.
Right.
So I was like, okay, whatever. I want a midwife because it's more personal. And for me, I don't like just anybody around my body. Like, you know, it's very sacred. And I've noticed from a lot of my friends, even my sister, when she had her daughter, her OB, wasn't even there. Like, it was somebody else. And I noticed a lot of people have that same issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want a stranger. Like, I already have so many people poking and prodding me. I don't want a stranger. So I had my midwife there, and I was so thankful for her because she was amazing. But as far as my daughter's healthcare, I feel like a lot of the times I wasn't listened to because I was young. So I knew, my daughter wears braces. She has AFO, so they're ankle foot orthotics. And when she was born, her feet were always turned in like this.
Okay.
And I was like, that's not normal. And I would talk to the doctor about it every checkup. And he's like, oh, it's just because of the way she was tucked in your belly. It's going to go away. So I brought that concern up to her pediatrician. And he was like, okay, we'll send her for an ultrasound. And when we went for the ultrasound, the tech was like, why are they doing this now? Like, now her bones are already formed. Like, if anything, we're going to have to break her legs. And I was like, oh my gosh. But thank God nothing was wrong with her to the point where we had to break her legs. Honestly, from all the fighting that I did from the moment my child was born up until that moment, it was just so quick. And I was like, look how easy this could have been if you guys listened to me.
Yeah.
Like, I knew something was wrong, and they were just kind of like, no, she's fine. She's fine. We went through all the OTs, the PTs. Like, we did everything. And I was just like, I told you.
Let me just say, some of y'all professionals out there don't want to listen to us because you're like, they're Black women. What do they know? We know stuff. So just listen to us when we tell you things, especially about our bodies or our kids, because we're around them all the time. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me and telling me about your experience and your daughter. I love the work that you're doing, and it's always cool to talk to a fellow sex educator and another sex educator who's a Black woman, because there's not a lot of us out there, right? If people want to get in touch with the center, how could they do that?
So if you go on Google, you can type in Jessie Center and you'll find the number. That's like the best way. Or you can even walk in. I mean, it's fine. It's cool. They're down.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna put the phone number for Jessie's house and the address down below if you are interested in calling or dropping by. If you liked this video, which I hope you did because it was an awesome interview, hit that like button, share this with anyone you know who might be, a young person who's considering parenting, or if there's, a young person in your family who's going through an unintended pregnancy, share this video with them. This could be a great resource. And of course, if you haven't subscribed and you would like to subscribe, you can subscribe to the channel. That's all for now. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.